What movie did you start watching then said, "Fuck this, I'm not finishing this"? Going Overboard. Adam Sandler's first movie. It's amazing how it didn't end his career before it started. 50 Shades of Grey. I was out as soon as she walked into Christian's office and tripped over nothing. Cause. You know. She's just so quirky and clumsy. 50 Shades of Grey. The Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly movie, Holmes and Watson. This is the sort of public service announcement we need when we're quarantined. The Mummy 3. I loved the Mummy series and Brendan Fraser is awesome, but my god, that was a hot pile of and the only movie I ever walked out of in a theater. Battlefield Earth. Unwatchable. Not even ironically funny. Edit. Honestly. Some scenes, in isolation on YouTube, are really hilarious. Travolta's "I was being trained to conquer galaxies" line read is so bad, and the movie has a lot of moments like this. But to sit down and watch this thing from beginning to end, phew. I'd rather be doing my taxes. The Emoji Movie. It was almost a parody of every CGI kids movie. Inside. It's a Spanish slasher film about this woman who wants to steal a pregnant widow's fetus. I've watched so many Gorefest movies to boot, and for some reason this one just totally took it to the next level for me and I couldn't handle it. I actually got quite close to the end and I just couldn't finish it. Edit. It's French, not Spanish. Thanks to those who pointed this out. Smiley face. I was hoping for a feel-good goofy movie and saw Downsizing while browsing Hulu. After reading the description, I assumed it'd be something like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and went for it. It was nothing like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Sad face. I envy people who have the ability to walk away from bad movies. I just gotta finish even when they're Zombiesaurus. I love B-movies that are amusingly bad. Ghost Shark is a particular favorite, but Zombiesaurus, bought for £2 from my local Asda, was so bad I couldn't finish it. Every pornographic movie I ever started. Zoolander 2. Aragon the movie. Nuff said. Avatar: The Last Airbender. The Robin Hood movie from a year or so back. The bad guys have machine gun crossbows. It's bizarre. Edit. So this comment got a bit more attention than I was expecting. For anyone that hasn't seen it and is curious. Modern gear and flak jackets, and they hut around a bombed-out city, clearing houses with longbows half drawn at the shoulder like they're spec ops dudes, but they get pinned down by an automatic ballista that's basically a machine gun nest, but it's okay because they fire a flare arrow over it which calls in an airstrike from some nearby trebuchets. I didn't hate this as much as some of the people replying, but the whole thing was so goofy and stupid that I couldn't be bothered finishing it. I just wish the My List and Continue Watching sections actually appeared consistently. They go AWOL all the time. Lost in the myriad weirdly specific genres Netflix has decided to make up that day. Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Huge fan of the books but couldn't make it half an hour into the movie. Literally walked out of the theater. Cats. Just don't. Don't waste your time. It's time you'll never get back. And you can be wasting your time on something more wasteful than watching that movie. Funny I never do that, but yesterday evening I decided to try Replicas on Amazon Prime. It had Keanu Reeves in it, so it can't be bad, right? Here is the first 20 minutes or so. That will explain why on earth I had to change my habit of always finishing a movie and shut down this one. So I started watching this best neurosurgeon on earth trying to extract human mind and put it in a robot only to fail miserably several times. Last try the robot achieved speaking and in matter of seconds became insane and started to tear its face apart and destroy itself. So he takes his wife and 3 kids in vacation. Night, rain, thunder during the trip. Wife dies when a tree explodes her chest, so the car falls in a pond and everyone drowns. Expect our best man Keanu. So what does he do? He calls his best buddy coworker to come and bring their mind-scanning device without questioning. Coworkers obliges. They scan the brains of the whole dead family and bring the bodies at the lab, where coworker is asked to get rid of the bodies, which he does cause he's a great friend. They then go to Keanu's house and best friend coworker happens to be top-notch cloning engineer. What a luck. And brings some pods so Keanu can clone his family and put back their memories inside the new bodies and no one will ever notice. Time to remember this is something that he has always failed to do in artificial bodies, but in cloned ones? Nope. Neither. You thought it can't be worse? Hold my beer. Best friend only has 3 pods while Keanu's family is a wife and 3 kids, so there is 4 people to bring back and it takes 17 days to finish a clone. What could they do? Keanu, who is, I repeat, one of the smartest guy on earth, decides to put the names of his kids in a jar and pick one that won't be brought back. Just like that. Best friend asks him how he will deal with that. The family and relatives, friends, neighbors, school teachers, you name it, will notice. And Keanu shows his full genius by explaining he will edit his family's scanned memories so no one remembers the dead kid, as it never existed. And at this time, I said, no, and turned that off. Into the Looking Glass. I'm normally a huge fan of Tim Burton's work, but I have legitimately sat down snacks. Full intent on watching it 3 times now and I just can't get into it. Edit. I know he didn't direct this one, but we all know whenever he's involved his style gets very heavily incorporated. Mean Girls 2. Jurassic Shark. Got a Shark Movies DVD box as a joke birthday gift from my BF. Made her watch it all with me. Got through all of them, but Jurassic Shark was next level bad. Fun evening though. Edit. BF equals best friend. Sorry for the confusion, guys. English is confusing. Geely. I thought it might be comically bad. But no. It's just the moldy cardboard of movies. Made it through about 35 minutes before I realized that I was actively thinking about other things and tuning it out. So I turned it off. Last year's Cats. I lasted 30 minutes and then I immediately left the theater. Human faces on roaches creeped me the hell out. As did whatever else I saw in that time frame. Hearts and Armor. Corrected. I have absolutely no excuse other than I paid $1 in the Blockbuster bin for it and needed to win the worst movie contest with a bunch of friends on Fantasy Movie Friday. I won. I still win with it. I still haven't watched all of it. Note to anyone who attempts to watch it. Whenever the blonde heaves her bosoms, tosses her hair, and yells, "Let me fight him." I'll fight him. Take a drink and you'll be dead before the end of the film. So you'll be out of your misery anyway. FYI. You don't know bad cinema until the bad guys have the evil henchman in a sword and sorcery flick is wear a spangly rooster costume, fight chicken style alongside the guy in a sequined top hat surrounded by knives and bow tie on top of an ape suit. Yup. Folks. It's that bad. And I own it on VHS. The most recent Underworld movie. It was a lot more soap opera and general incoherence than anything. Years back, I used to love the no-effort parody movies like Epic Movie, Scary Movie, Superhero Movie, Meet the Spartans, etc. Until I watched Scary Movie 5. When 5 came out, I couldn't see it immediately at the time, so I forgot about it and rented it years later. When watching it, I realized none of the jokes were funny because they all relied on referencing and parodying the horror movies of that time, which were no longer relevant. It was a slog, and I turned it off and returned it halfway through. Dragon Ball Evolution, a Serbian film.